This conference will now be recorded.
Now let's start this with a question. Guys, I have a habit of asking a lot of questions because I want to make the sessions interactive. So we'll make this session interactive, right? And if you don't like to be asked questions, so you let me know, right? So I'm writing a word over here, and you have to tell me what is your perspective for that. What do you think about this word? One by one, you can tell.
So it means that one of our device is getting hacked by some malicious activities.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it basically means when somebody wants to get into your system or your things without your permission.
Okay. What about others? What others think?
So according to me, hacking is like first of all, the attacker will find some knowledge about us and he will try to get in our system by mm, with the help of some vulnerabilities and breaking some privacies and all.
Okay.
It's basically a technique where which is used to get the data information without specific permission.
Okay. Anyone else wants to add something?
According to me, Ashish, I think, getting into someone's premises in simple language I'm talking, so into someone's area or premises or whatever you say, be it system, without the knowledge
Without
of them,
without
yeah,
their permission.
basically, getting into someone's system, property,
Mhm.
place, with it may be of with a wrong intention also, or with a good intention also.
Okay.
Like starting, as rightly mentioned by one. So as rightly mentioned, like by exploiting vulnerabilities.
Okay. Now, again, a question that what is a hack? If I remove all the technicalities from this word, everyone's saying about devices and getting the access of the devices and all. But what if I remove the technicalities of this? Now, what is a hack? If anyone knows.
Hack is like someone will lose the control completely or partially.
Okay. Okay. So, hack. Anyone else who wants to add anything to this word without any technicality? Okay, no.
Entering
So,
in someone's premises without their permission.
okay, someone's premises. Premises, what do you mean by premises?
Uh, someone's space
Basically,
where
walking into the organization. Are you saying that, or you are saying attacking the organization virtually, like hacking into the organization?
yeah, they're attacking the second one, attacking the organization.
See, but attacking the organization as technical thing. I wanted to know what is a hack without any technicalities. Now, what you will say about that?
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. So, what I will say, if we see the dictionary, so it says uh, Mr. Shivam says hack is penetrating an organization or a group of obtaining information that you require and use it against them for whatever that. Yes, but this definition is with technicalities, right? So hack word means if you will see the dictionary, cutting something into pieces by sheer force. This is hack. This is the word hack, right? Now, what I say, what my definition is. My definition is doing anything in an unconventional way, right? So what I say, doing anything in unconventional way or shortcut way. Now, do you guys agree to that? To my definition, doing anything in an unconventional way or shortcut way.
I want to know how it will be in a shortcut way. Unconventional, yeah, I agree to that. But how it will be in a shortcut way?
I'll tell you. So,
Okay.
one participant, short for shortcut way. Now, what about others? Do you guys agree to this definition
I have the same question regarding shortcuts.
regarding the shortcut, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's take the example of a real world example, right? Everyone has watched videos on YouTube or Facebook. Life hacks we have seen. Watch them,
Yeah,
life hack videos. So
yeah,
what
I've
we
seen.
do? Sometimes what we do, first I'm telling you about hack, then I'll tell you about shortcut way. That we know that we are buying cold drink, right? We purchase a cold drink of a bottle of 2 liters, let's say, and after that we do not throw the bottle, we reuse it for filling water, right? So that is what, that is a hack. Now they also, if you have seen the videos, it will tell you that how to do packing. Like we are visiting some place and they will tell you how to do packing, right? How to carry your meds and all the things in less space. Now, if you have one video that I watched was about sneakers, the shoes, right? So, what are those sneakers for? Like what they have shown that if you have white sneakers and you got them dirty, so you can clean them using toothpaste, and it worked. So these are your simple life hacks, right? Now, how you are doing all these life hacks in shortcut? Can anyone other than Ms. Pragya and Hardik tell me that how we are doing that in a shortcut way. How we are doing things. Hack in a shortcut. Anyone? No one? Okay. So if you will see, and okay, Mr. Shivam said something. Use of various devices or programs. Yeah, but how we are doing that in a shortcut way? That is the question, Mr. Shivam. So how we are doing things in a shortcut way? Let's say, let's take example of going somewhere. So we take shortcuts. We have the path is of 5 kilometers, and there is a shortcut that will take you uh, that is of 4.5 kilometers. So you saved 500 meters. Same like that in the hacking. When you do hacking, you want the information from someone's computer or someone's device, right? But what you have to do, you have to take the information how you will go to him or you, I need that information, and they will say you will not disclose this information, right, to other people, right? So that's the thing. But how you are doing that without taking the permission, you are taking the, you are exploiting their vulnerabilities and you are taking the control of their system and getting downloading all the information, now any information to you, right? And there are peoples who are that much good in hacking, they will not, you will not be able to trace them back, right? So you are hacking, you are doing a thing in a shortcut way so that you don't have to take the permissions, you don't have to go through all the processes and things. So you are doing what? You are doing things in a shortcut way. So you can say that it is a shortcut way of getting the information. And from the hacker's perspective, that like I'm an attacker, and from the attacker's perspective, I will say that it is good for me. I don't want permissions, I don't want to go through all the things, so I am doing it the shortcut way. It will take days to get the information, but it will take less days to get the information, and without any permission, without any agreements, right? So that's how you will say hack in a short, hack is a shortcut way, right?
Yeah, got
Can
it.
you, yeah, Ashish, it would be good if we can receive any kind of example in the hacker's standpoint, hacker's point of view.
That's what I gave. That's what I give. Hacker's point of view. First thing, hacker is what? Who is a hacker?
Those who try to get the access of someone's systems without their permission.
Without the permission. This is the wrong definition of a hacker. Do you know that?
Okay.
Anyone who will tell me that what is a hacker? Anyone? What is a hacker, guys? A basic question. No one? That's the definition of hacker. What do you think what a hacker is? Do you all guys think the same, that hacker is someone who is getting inside this system of peoples without their permission, or he's taking unauthorized access? Do you guys think that?
Since I feel hacker is someone who hacks the system, or in order to, if I'll rephrase it, so who with a defensive or offensive mindset, takes the control of someone's system.
Okay.
Uh, that's it.
Anyone else who wants to add something? Mr. Shivam, you don't think, but what do you think? Can you tell us about the hackers? Not the types of hacker I'm talking about. I'm talking about the word, the keyword, hacker. What do you think? Who is a hacker? If you are a cybersecurity person, you are a hacker. If you are offensive person, you are a hacker. If you are a defensive person, right? But who is a hacker? Hacker is someone who has sound knowledge of system administration and devices and network. So before 1950s, if you will see hackers in the old times, people call those people hackers who have sound knowledge of system administration and your network and your devices, right? So that person was called hacker. The person who is attacking, who is gaining access of the systems, and who is doing what? Who is taking the access without permission, unauthorized access. So that person is called attacker, right? Now, coming back to the question of Mr. Arunshi, what I told you guys that if a hacker, we are saying that we are doing something in shortcut way. By the perspective of an attacker, I'm saying that if you want something, right? If you if you have done penetration testing, right? So what you will do, you will go to the organization who called you for penetration testing. There will be agreements. There will be agreements about how to do what type of devices you have to test, what not to touch, and then they will tell you how you will not disclose our information. Any vulnerabilities you will find, you will not disclose them, right? If there are big vulnerabilities, you will not tell them. Any vulnerability, any type of data, you will not leak. So that thing, right? So let's say you're not a penetration tester, but you want data from some place. And now what will happen? That place will give you the data, right? But after doing what? They will give you the data only for reading, and you cannot tell anyone. You cannot tell anyone that you found this and this is the thing. Like we also are the people, like we do pen testings also, right? But that will be a good example if I tell you that in that organization I went and I found this vulnerability, and that vulnerability was giving you that very uh, small vulnerability was there, and they didn't even notice. So how to mitigate that? That will be a very good example, right? But due to non-disclosure agreement, I cannot tell you that, right? So that's how the thing works. Now, shortcut way, you are attacking the organization, you are getting inside the organization, gaining the access of the servers, and downloading all the files that you need. Now you can tell anyone what things are there in that company, right? So that is doing the thing in shortcut way. You are taking the shortcut. You are not taking any permissions, right? So that is how you are doing hack in shortcut. Now, the first word was hack. If I talk about second thing, so your second word, which I am writing, because as I said, security plus is entry level and defensive course. Now, what do you guys understand by information security. What are your inputs about that, guys? What is information security?
Can I say something, Ashish?
Yes, no one is saying something. You can.
So, Ashish, as per my understanding, basically
Yeah.
assets are classified broadly in three categories. They are
Mhm.
people, property, and third one is information. So,
Okay.
providing protection or safeguarding information is information security.
Okay.
It's basically securing the information in terms of confidentiality, integrity, and availability.
Mhm.
Information will be any type of like personal information, credit card information. The one which should be should be secure.
Okay. Now, anyone else who wants to add, who knows about information security? If you don't know, guys, you can guess also by the word. It's not that much tough. So, what your information security is? The protection of available information or information resources from unauthorized access, attack, theft, or data damage. Right? So that is what information security. Protection of information from unauthorized access, data damage, attack, theft, right? So this is your information security. Now, again, let me grab my pencil. Okay. Now, who will tell me what is this word? This one. What is the meaning of this word?
Unauthorized access basically means you are not having permission to access something or to use something, and then you're gaining that access. That is unauthorized access. You are not having permissions for that.
Yes, correct. So unauthorized access is you are not the authorized person to access that particular thing, that particular server, that particular website, that particular PC. But what you are doing, you are hacking into that and gaining the access of all those things, right? So that is what that is unauthorized access. The example for unauthorized access will be hacking into the organization, right? So for this, hacking into the organization, right? Okay. Now, what is the attack, guys? If anyone can tell me, what is this word attack?
Using various methods to get into the organization.
Okay.
various method to access to various method to gain unauthorized access, basically.
Gain access various
And
methods
to
to.
add, to assist to add into that, to damage or to cause damage.
Okay, to go
Yes.
message. Anyone else who wants to add anything? So these guys are correct. Mr. Gyan, Mr. Omyo, that you are doing what? You are using different techniques to get inside the PC or organization or anything you are trying to get into, right? So that is your attack. So attack is what? That technique that you are using to get inside. That is your attack. So that attack is your technique. Which technique you are using? If you guys have heard, there is a technique with the name DOS, denial of service. So this is what we are doing: denial of service attack, and then we are getting the access, and then the website is not able to work, right? So the website will not be working. So that is what? That is your attack. Okay. Can anyone tell me about this also? This word theft.
Stealing data.
Okay. Ms. Pragya, you want to add anything?
Yeah, actually, by gaining unauthorized access, you are when you get access to somebody's data and you are stealing that particular data, what the last person said, the same thing.
Okay, great. So theft is what? Getting the data, right? Stealing the data. So in there, what is the output of the theft? Data loss. We are not attackers, we are hackers, right? We are working in organizations and we are working as ethical persons. So for our organization, the attack and the output of attack will be theft, and the output of theft for us will be data loss, right? Okay. Now, if you guys have heard about Sony hack, different types of hacks were there. Many hacks happen every day. Some are known to people, some are not known, right? So, do you guys know about Ashley Madison? Sony Pictures. Heard about them?
Heard about Sony Picture and Facebook.
Okay. So we will be discussing about this one, Sony Pictures app. So anyone who does not know what is Sony Pictures, who haven't heard about that.
I have not heard any one of
Yeah, even I
Okay,
haven't.
no problem, no problem. I'll tell you about that, the whole story. So, Mr. Shivam says, I read some article that says when you delete something on a computer, it is not actually deleted, but instead it is hidden from you. So, is there a way still to access the data even after deletion? Yes, Mr. Shivam, we are on the record, but I have done that. I deleted the whole data 2 years back. I deleted whole data from my father's laptop, and there was a tool. That tool was of $22,000. So I didn't have that much money. So that's why what I did, I cracked that tool, and then I used the tool. I got my data back from my of my father's computer, and then I mailed that organization that this vulnerability is there. So patch that up. So yes, there are tools you can get. That was a US based organization where you are, right? So that's the thing, you have tools so you can access that. That's why everyone, we say that when you delete data, if you have important data in your USB, in your memory card, in your phone, or anywhere else, if you have important data, if you delete it and let's say you forgot where it is or you left it somewhere, so don't do that. Or if you throw it away, don't do that, because you will think that there is no data, but from the attacker's perspective there is a lot data. Your pictures, your email IDs, anything can be there, right? So always when you delete data, put a new data, fill that USB, your phone or memory card, then again delete it and then give it to anyone or throw it, right? So that is the thing. Okay, so we'll discuss about Sony Pictures Act. Giving you idea about Ashley Madison hack. Ashley Madison hack. If anyone knows about what is Ashley Madison.
No, I don't know.
Okay, now I'll tell you their tagline, and you will know what is that. So Ashley Madison is a website, and their tagline is "Life is short, have an affair." Right? So it is a dating website, like uh, many other Tinder and all. So it's a dating website. It's not for normal guys. It's for the people who are owners of organization. Means the people who are CEOs and CTOs of the organizations or owner of the organization. Those types of people. Now, what happened in Ashley Medicine? A worker, a person who was working inside. So many people, many big people, they were having extramarital affairs, right? And that actually means. Now, what he thought that this is wrong. You guys, after marriage, you don't should not do that, and these types of things. You should not have an affair after marriage, and these guys are doing bad thing, right? So what he did, he contacted attackers. Now he gave some information from inside, and those attackers got inside, got a backdoor, and got inside the organization's servers, all the servers. Now what they did, they steal or they stole or the whole data, all the data, right? All the chats, the video calls, and all the things, the messages and all, right? Now after that, what they did, the peoples who are having affair, they sent their chats to them, right? CEO to CEOs and CTOs, that we will make it public if you will not give us money. So they were asking for ransom. Now they were asking for ransom. All those people who are high and high level authorities in the organizations, they had lot of money. They, so what they did, they gave them money. Now, can you think how much money they have? They still would be not able to spend that money, that much money, because everyone was a billionaire, a millionaire, right? Now, after that, what happened? Everyone gave them money for the sake of their reputation, for the sake of their all the things. But what happened? They said, the attacker said that we will not make your information public, but after getting all the money, after some days, they made the information public. And now the reputation, the financial impact was there, the reputational impact was there, and their reputation got lost. Right? So that was your Ashley medicine hack. Okay. Now what I want from you guys, that hit Google and write Sony pictures hack. And on Wikipedia read whatever in 5 minutes, whatever you can do. So check if there is anything you are getting. Then I'll give you the analogy to make you understand what happened, what everyone thinks about that. Everyone done reading? What about others? Mr. Shivam is done.
Yeah, done.
Now, this is the architecture. If you guys know about firewalls and all, anyone who know about firewall, what is a firewall? Just a one-liner for firewall. Anyone?
Firewall is a network device which used to allow and deny the access or access.
Correct. Mr. Hardik, you are into network, right? Networking.
Yes, yes.
This is the firewall, this is the firewall, this is the DMZ. Now, will you tell me please that what type of firewall architecture it is?
What type of?
Firewall architecture. There are different types of firewall architecture, right?
What is
Yes.
DMZ?
Yeah, we'll discuss about that. I'm just writing right now. Don't
So
worry, we'll discuss.
there are perimeter firewall and internal firewall.
Now, what is this architecture of firewall called? If you know,
Multi-dimensional.
multi-dimensional or something else.
Tier 2, I think,
I mean, both direction.
tier architecture. So it is
Sorry.
incoming. So the internet is there. DMZ. Okay. From inside to outside, there are traffic going from inside to outside. So there are two-tier architecture.
Have you heard about multi-home firewall architecture?
Yeah, multi-home. Correct.
So this is your multi-home firewall architecture, right?
Yes.
Okay. These are the PCs, right? We'll discuss about this also. Okay, so this is what? This is the internal network. Sony's internal network, right? This is Sony's internal network. Now, what we have is we have this architecture, and in this architecture is called multi-home firewall, right? Now, what we have is the first word DMZ. Anyone who knows about DMZ?
Yeah, it's a demilitarized zone where normally we can have the servers like web servers, which you can provide access from the outside.
Correct. So DMZ stands for demilitarized zone, right, guys? Demilitarized zone. Now, what is your demilitarized zone? Anything you want to give public access. So you put it in DMZ, demilitarized zone, and you will be given the people, the public will be given access to that. Now, best example, websites. When we visit website, everyone can visit website, right?
Yes.
Yes, everyone can visit website. Let's take example of Amazon. If you do not have account on Amazon, still you are able to access that website? Yes.
Yes.
Now, how that's happened? So they have done what? They have demilitarized zone, and in that demilitarized zone, they have put their web servers. So your mail servers, web servers, which public can see, right? Which is for public. That those things are put inside your demilitarized zone, right? So let's start with Sony Pictures hack. Now, if I talk about Sony Pictures hack, there was an attacker or a group of attackers, and from our internet, they were able to access the DMs. Everyone knows that anyone can access DMs over the internet, right? Like you are accessing the website, they are also accessing the website. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, these attackers were able to access DMs, right? Now, what happened? We have two firewalls. So, this is firewall 2, this is firewall 1. So, what happened? They were trying to bypass firewall 2, right? They were trying to bypass this firewall, but they were unable to do it. So, rather than to attack firewall 2, they tried to attack firewall 1, and they are able to do that, right? They got access to that. They were successful. Now, what happens? Whatever the traffic that goes to the internet from inside, right? Right? So they were able to see that. Am I correct? You
Sorry,
have
come again,
comprom-
please.
you have compromised this firewall, right? You have
Just because it
compromised.
is, yeah, just
Yes.
because it is located right after the firewall 2.
Yes. So the data coming from inside will be first visiting firewall 2, then going to firewall 1. After that, it will be going to internet. Now, anything that is going coming from inside going to firewall 2 will be coming to firewall 1 because that's the route, that's the path. Right? So they have compromised this firewall. Now they are able to see the whole all the traffic that is going to the internet. They can see what people are requesting from inside,
Yes.
right? Okay. So
Yeah.
they noticed, sorry, yeah. Anything you want to ask, Ms. Pragya?
No, nothing. Got it.
Okay. So firewall one, if we talk about, right? So they can see the whole data that is coming from inside to firewall two and then to firewall one, right? Now they notice someone from inside this is accessing New York Times, a newspaper website, right? On a regular basis. So hackers did what? They thought to compromise New York Times rather than directly compromising Sony. They thought to compromise New York Times. So can anyone tell me what is more easy to compromise? A Sony's network or a newspaper's website?
Newspaper website because it is the publicly available, accessible.
Yes, because it is more publicly available than a company's network, right? So what they did is they installed a Trojan in New York Times. Now, can anyone tell me what is a Trojan? If anyone has heard about that.
Trojan is it's like you hide the your exhibitor file or your malware inside uh, what I can say trusted data. I mean fake data.
Okay. So what is Trojan? The full name is Trojan horse, I think, right?
Yes.
Trojan horse. So what Trojan is, guys? Whenever you hear the word Trojan, remember a keyword for that. You will never forget this. Trojan gives you backdoor access. So remember this word backdoor access. It generally gives you a backdoor access to a particular system or to a particular server. So whose fault was that they did what? They installed Trojan in the New York Times website. Now, what happens? This person is accessing New York Times, right? This person is accessing New York Times. Now, if this person is accessing New York Times, the Trojan that is there in New York Times will be installed in that person's PC who is accessing New York Times. Am I right?
Yes.
So what that was, she was a receptionist who was doing what? Who was accessing New York Times. This Trojan entered her system. So from one system, now they got the backdoor access of receptionist PC. So from this system, they compromised the next one. Now they can compromise next, and using one to next system, they compromised all the systems that were there, and so on. Right? So can you see a chain is created over here? Chain of compromised systems are there. Now, tell me guys a question. Is only that receptionist is infected with Trojan, not other people's?
I think so. Everyone on that particular network will be affected by that Trojan.
Yes. So everyone who was accessing that website will be affected, right? There won't be one person who is accessing New York Times. Many were there. So there were how many? There were 350,000 systems. So 300, these are those 350K people using internet. They were accessing New York Times, right? And they were affected also. So attackers compromised 350,000 systems just to get access to Sony Entertainment organization. Now, after when what happened when that receptionist, the Trojan entered a system, that receptionist was non-technical. We know that they are not technical, right? So She got a message on her system that a malware has been detected. And what she did is she ignored that warning. As she used to open New York Times every day. Right? So just to clear that it happened in 2014. So technology wasn't that much evolved at that time. So what type of firewalls were used at that time? Packet filter firewalls. So what packet filter firewalls are? They only talk about port, right? In packet filter firewall, port and IP are stopped. Otherwise, other things are not. We can put that on the rules, right? We cannot put other like we cannot put rules on session layer and other types of things. Okay, so this lady did what? When Trojan entered, how it entered, this lady opened an image file attached with the Trojan, and that particular Trojan got executed. Generally, we do that in exe file, right? We all have seen exe files, so we do that in exe file, right? So that's how they managed to compromise whole Sony entertainment. Now, this wasn't the difficult task to get inside these systems, right? As you can see. Now, difficult task was they took 100 TB of data. How much data? 100 TB of data. That is a lot. Now tell me, if you take 100 TB of data inside Sony, even if they have, let's say, poor network architecture, can they detect out that 100 TB of data is being ciphered out? Even the security is very low. If you are security professional, you are working in organization, even if your architecture is not that much good, the security architecture, can you find out that 100 TB of data is being ciphered? Guys, are you there?
Ashish.
So if you are the owner of the organization and someone is taking 100 TB of data, won't it be showing you that data is being transferred from somewhere to somewhere? Like we see that in copying whenever we copy a file. So it will show you. Now 100 TB will take a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 They will get alarmed. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what attackers did? They played very smart. Now, do you remember these people, these 350,000 people? So what they did, if they would be taking data, like let's say we have attackers here, they have a lot of systems, but if they will cipher out the data to their system, so they will be tracked. The route will be traced, right? So what they did, they took 100 MB from per machine. Right? All these machines are there. These are also compromised. These are also infected with Trojan. Now what they did, they took 100 MB from per machine. 100 MB per machine. right? Now they took 100 MB per machine. So will they be knowing that someone is using my 100 MB of space?
It will not affect much.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Even if you have those mobile phones, even if you have let's say 64 GB mobile, right? 64 GB internal space. Nowadays we have 256 GB and 512 GBs of space. So if I take 100 MB from that 128 GB or 68 GB, will you even notice that I'm using your space?
No.
No.
No, no.
Okay. Since you do not notice 100 MB from your mobile, so do you think they will notice 100 MB from 1 TB? No, right? Now, so they use concept. Which concept? They use concept of distributed computing, right? So attackers, that's why I said attackers, hackers, these all are sound people. So distributed computing, and they took 100 MB of space from all systems, and they started deciphering the data from the Sony's internal network to these 350,000 computers. Now, there is a good news, there is a bad news. Which one you guys want to hear first?
Bad first.
Bad first. What about others?
Bad is okay.
Bad is okay. But I'll tell you the good news first. The good news
Good
is,
news. Yeah. Goodness first.
yeah. So, good news is they took 100 TB of data. That is a good news. Now, bad news is we were talking that you are the owner of the organization and someone is taking 100 TB of data. So it will trigger you, it will alarm you, and you will notice that, right? But bad news is that no one noticed it. Nobody knew it. So you guys read about that. If you read, it took attackers 1 year, 2 months. If this attack was announced on in 2014, so this attack was started, you can say, before in mid 2013. So by this, you might get the idea that hacking requires patience, right? Now what they did is, since no one knew that they started clearing their tracks, right? So how we clear our tracks, like deleting all the logs and all the things that will trace back to our IP addresses, right? So inside every system, they set up a logic bomb. So logic bomb was there, right? So anybody know what is logic bomb?
No, Ashish.
I think it's execute based on some logic, like if you do some type of action on this. I mean, some file opening or some browsing or like that. Some logic based on some logic, it's exploration.
Yes, correct. So logic bomb is what? It is a tickle time bomb, you can say. So it runs at a particular time or after a particular event. It executes itself after a particular time, a particular event. You can give either of them, right? Let's say I added that at 9, logic bomb will be After 9 minutes, logic bomb will be executed. So it will be executed, right? What is that? How it works? Logic bomb, as you can see, bomb is written, so it will explode, right? Not physically, but inside our PC it will explode. So what they did with logic bomb, they added a cleaner, right? Now they added a cleaner, and what cleaner, if you remember, you guys have read about that. What was the name of that cleaner or wiper? Anyone who remembers that? No one remembers that. You guys have read about that on Wikipedia. Okay. So the name of that wiper was Shamoon wiper, right? So Shamoon wiper was there, and they have attached that wiper with the logic bomb. So what happened? Logic bomb executed at the setup time or setup event. It cleaned up all the systems. Next day, 9 a.m., the moment people open their screens, open their laptops or devices, every single screen was displaying you are hacked by whom? What was the name of the group? Anyone who remembers? Okay. No one?
Guardians of Peace side.
Yes. You are hacked by Guardians of Peace, right? So this was your hack, Sony hack. What they did, parallelly they made this 100 TB of data public, and I don't know you guys have downloaded that movie or not, Fury. So that movie was there in that data. So I was the one who downloaded that movie. Anyone who has downloaded that movie at that time in 2014?
What was the name?
Fury, Fury.
No.
It's about battle. Okay. And there was another movie with the name The Interview. Anyone heard about that? The Interview. Anyone who knows about this movie, The Interview? No? Yes? No?
Yes, I have heard about that.
Okay. So people say that hack was happened because of this movie, The Interview. Because this movie has something to do with the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong, right? So it wasn't clear, but whenever big hacks happen, they have to pin it to someone. So they did to North Korea, right? So basically, after this, you will get the idea that how a hack happens, and you have to be patient to perform a hack. So you have to know about the hacks, how hack happens. So that's after that you will know how to defend that. As you guys into the defensive field, you are doing a defensive course, so you should know how a hack happens, right? Now the reason I told you this hack is so that I can walk you through some basic terminologies. Right? Now you guys are into that, so I will ask and you guys will tell me what is that. Okay. So basic terminologies. Okay. First one, very easy. Vulnerability. What is vulnerability?
So weakness.
Okay. Weakness.
Any gap in the process which can be exploited.
Any gap in the process which can be exploited. Okay. Okay. What about others? Mr. Santosh, Mr. Shivam, Mr. Milan, Mew.
It's a kind of a weakness, okay, which can be hacked or by a cyber attack team.
Okay. Great. Great. Mr. Shivam, want to add something? Mr. Mew, Mr. Milan.
It's a weakness or gap in the organizational practice or process that may facilitate or allow someone, basically not someone, threat to be implemented or increase the magnitude of the loss impact.
Oh, great. Great. Right. So, okay, Mr. Shivam gave the best answer. I agree with others. Great. So, yeah, everyone is correct. Vulnerability. It is any flaw or weakness in the system, right? Gap. Two people said gap, Mr. Omeo and Mr. Adya. Gap, loophole, these words can be used also, right? Now, if I ask you, is there any difference between flaw and weakness? Is there anything, any difference between flaw and weakness?
When the weakness become prominent or the magnitude increase, that time it becomes flaw.
Okay,
A flaw is a mistake, and a weakness is it's a lack of strength or which cannot protect itself. Weakness.
okay. What about others? Ms. Pragya, want to add something?
No.
Okay. So, what flaw is? Flaw is the mistake in the system, and what weakness is? It describes you the condition of lacking strength. Strength is lacking resilience. Condition of being weak. That is weakness. Flaw is the mistake. a mistake in it. Mistake can be, we can work on mistake, but it's much harder to work on weakness, right? Okay, this was your vulnerability. Now, next terminology is weakness. So, exploit. We discussed about weakness. Now, exploit. What is exploit, guys? Anyone exploit?
To misuse
Misuse
weakness,
what?
misuse a
Or
flaw, or misuse a weakness.
means you can say you were misusing the vulnerability. Right? Want to say
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay. What about others?
Exploit is a method to use the weak vulnerability and yeah, so that is what technique to attack on the with by using the vulnerability.
Okay. Technique. We recently discussed that technique is attack. Now, exploit is what? When you take advantage of vulnerability. So now when you take the advantage of vulnerability, that is called what? That is called exploit. Right? Now next thing is payload. Anyone who knows what is payload? Okay.
What is a package? I can say.
Package. Pragya, want to say something about that?
No, I don't know about this.
Okay. So payload is what? Payload is something that supports the exploit, right? Payload is what? Payload is something that supports your exploit. Now, what is payload over here?
Like, for example, the Trojan horse, and like, I'm just guessing, the Trojan horse or whatever method we are using to exploit the vulnerability.
Can you repeat, please?
You want me to repeat?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, payload it would be the Trojan horse in the Sony case, which we use to exploit the vulnerability. Like, I think so.
You are thinking correct.
Okay.
So Trojan is the payload as it is supporting the exploit. It is a data supporting exploit, right? Correct. Nice answer. Now fourth one. Someone is from risk, I think. Knowing what is asset. Someone was talking about asset. So what is asset, guys? Anyone?
Asset is anything which is important for the organization, which adds value
Only
to the organization.
organization?
Like to anyone, which
To
adds value.
you, to me, to anyone, right?
Yeah.
To any person. Thinks that anything that holds some value. So can anyone tell me how many types of assets we have? No, not type like buildings, but types of assets.
Like physical asset, human asset, data asset. Right?
Okay. So those are called tangible
Tangible. Okay.
and intangible assets. Now, what are tangible assets? What are intangible assets?
Tangible assets are those which we cannot, we can touch
Okay,
and feel, like property, people, or document. Intangibles are like reputational loss or motivation, loss of
data,
motivation, voice, like that.
data, right?
Even data as well. Yeah.
Correct, great. So tangible assets you can touch like mobile phone, laptop, documents, anything. Intangible assets you cannot touch, but they have a value for you like your documents and your system, right? So your data. So your data is what? That is your intangible asset. It holds a value and you cannot touch that. It is intangible, that's why. Now, if I talk about asset value, so what is asset value? Anyone? Asset value. It's what? Okay. Others, Mr. Shivam said it's what? What do you guys say? Asset value, Nova? No one wants to add anything on this. Okay. Now, asset value is what? In your asset value, every asset has some value, every asset holds some value. Now, it was like how you will, how much important it is for you, right? How much value it holds for you. So, that is your asset value. So, let's say if someone is running with your mobile and laptop, what are you gonna save if you can save only one? What you guys will save? Mobile or the laptop?
Laptop.
You will save laptop, okay? What about others? Mr. Hardik, what you will save? Mobile or laptop?
Sorry, I lost in between. Maybe my system got it. What was the question? Ashish, can you repeat, please?
If someone is running with your mobile and laptop, so what you will save if you can save only one?
So we will attempt to save both the thing.
No, but you can save only one. Now what you will say?
I will decide based on where my valuable data is stored.
Yes, correct. Yes, Arun, you what you will save?
So laptop, mainly I might have my, know, uh, but both have. I mean, my mobile might have my personal data,
But
but there is enough.
yeah. But you have to save only one.
Okay.
No, I'll say mobile phone because using that at least I can call to police.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone has more data in mobile phone, more personal data in mobile phone rather than laptop, right? But it varies from person to person. For me as well, I'll save my mobile because I have my secrets in my mobile, not in the laptop. My laptop belongs to my office, my company. So I'll tell them that it has stolen now. Give me another one. So they will give me another one, right? So that's the thing. So that is your asset value. What value it holds for you. Now, same like that, another question is coming for you guys. What is hack value? Anyone about hack value? What is hack value?
No, I don't know.
It will be how much ransom one can get from the other, from the one who is being hacked, or what impact that particular loss of data will cause to that particular person, organization, anything.
Correct.
How
So
much it is paid?
yes, yes. How much data or how much money you are getting? So you define your assets on the basis of different values. Similarly, attackers do what? They specify your assets on the basis of different values. That is known as that. Let's say you have a newspaper website, food blog, and bank. What will you hack?
Bank.
Bank.
Now we are getting the hackers out. Bank, okay. These guys are going for banks. What about others? Mr. Arun, same bank or any other thing, newspaper website or food blog or anything. Mr. Omeo, okay, I think he is not there. Mr. Santosh, bank, food blog or newspaper website. So a bank, right? Everyone will say bank. Why? Because in bank you will get some value, right? You will get some money. So similarly, the attackers put hack value on different targets. The more the profit, higher is the hack value, right? So that is your hack value. Next is the word comes risk. Now, what is the risk, guys?
If we don't pay what the hacker asked, okay, then there is a risk in losing our data and company reputation.
Okay, but what is the risk?
The
You gave
after
the example.
effect, the after effect or the result of exploiting a vulnerability would be risk.
The after effect. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's say I'm a newbie. How will you define risk to me? The term I don't know anything about risk. Will you say the after effects or anything else? Something very simple.
The result of the result of a hack.
The result of a hack. Okay. Yeah, but okay, let me tell you. Risk is something which may happen and which may not. It is a situation, probable situation, which may happen, which may not. It can be positive, it can be negative, right? So if I am holding a glass of water over my laptop, it may spill, it may not spill, right? So that is your risk, may or may not. Now you don't know the thing when it may happen, when it may not, but you will provide the mitigation techniques, you will implement the mitigation thing, the techniques for implementing risk mitigations for mitigating those risks, right? So that is your risk. Now, eight, next thing. What is this, guys? Threat. Anyone, what is threat?
Threat is something personal situation where which can use the vulnerability in to the exploitation.
Okay.
There is a threat in to damage the data, or the data might got. There is a threat to for a data which, okay, the data might get disrupted or damaged.
Okay.
It's a combination of adversary capability, motivation or intent, and likelihood of attack.
Okay. A basic definition I will give you that something something that can alter your asset value. Threat is that thing which can alter your asset value. Let's take the last example again. I'm having laptop which is an asset to me and it has some value for me. And if I spill water on my laptop, it will stop functioning. Now my asset value is changed, right? So that is threat. And when you are pointing towards a particular threat, it is called threat vector, right?
Can you repeat again, please?
something which can alter your asset value. I spill water over my laptop, and my laptop is an asset for me, right? It holds some value. Now, if I spill water on that and it will do what? It will stop functioning, right? So asset values change. Now, if I go to market and I want to sell it, I will get less price, right? So that is your asset values changed. Now, the
So
last
what is
line what I
trade?
said is, sorry,
I mean, in this example that you have quoted here,
water,
so what
the
is threat?
spilling of water, the spilling of water, right? So water is threat to you. So when you are pointing towards any threat, towards a particular threat, it is called threat vector, right? Now, next thing we have is bot. What is a bot, guys? Anyone? Bot.
It is used to perform like a repetitive task instead of going to the customer support. Okay, it automatically shows the questions and it asks for the the repeated task. Okay, where it automatically solves at the software level instead of going directly to the customer support.
Correct. Correct. What about others? Sadik, what do you think about bot?
Yeah, same as I said.
Okay. Ms. Pragya, want to add anything to the definition of bot?
Yeah, the same thing. It will be kind of kind of a robot or kind of an inbuilt thing which is answering, doing everything.
Correct. So, what is a bot? Something that is commanded and controlled by someone else. It can be software, it can be a system, right? In the case of Sony hack, can you guys tell me what was bot? Who was the bot? In the case of Sony Pictures, can you guys tell me what is a bot?
Yeah, I'm just guessing that distributing that file and among these 350K users could be the activity of bot 100 MB.
Now, do you remember that attackers used all these 350,000 PCs to store computers, to store the data, right? All these computers are commanded by whom? The attackers. And they were commanded to store the data. So what is that? That is, these all are bots. And a single PC is called bot, and all those 350 computers are called bot. It was network of bots. So it was
Botnet.
botnet. It is called. Correct. Right? Now, next thing is Trojan. What is Trojan? We discussed about that. Anyone? Trojan?
backdoor access?
Correct. Trojan is what? It is a malware. So what a malware is? Malicious software. There are two words in malware, mal and ware. So malware is something malicious software. So what Trojan gives you? Trojan gives you backdoor access, right? Now we have what? We have cleaner, or you can say wiper. So what is cleaner or wiper? Anyone? Cleaner or wiper?
Which cleans up everything which is being done, like any attack which has happened.
Basically, it deletes your data, whole data in your system.
Including log as well?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, including log as well, as you mentioned that that
Yes,
logic
yes,
bomb.
yes. So logs are what? If there will be logs, you as an attacker, logs, if you didn't remove logs from the target machine, you will be traced back, you will be caught by the forensics team. There are forensic investigators who are working on that, who are working on security and all, right? Who are working on SIM solutions. What they will
Yes,
do? They will trace you back.
correct.
So that's why we need cleaners or wipers to remove all those things, to cover our tracks, right?
Right.
Now, next one is daisy chaining. Now, what is daisy chaining?
Networking term I mean, it's like two different type of data can travel in the same path. Like uh, see, interface, we can connect data and voice villain together. This
Oh,
In the Sony case, it is distributed to all the 35,000 customers, right? In a kind of a round robin fashion, or one system is connecting to the other system, chain system.
yes. Also, Sony, when they entered Sony, they started doing what? They started compromising one computer to, after that, after receptionist computer, it moved to the second one, then the third one, and fourth one. It created a chain. So daisy chaining is what? Daisy chaining is chain of compromise systems or network is known as daisy chain, right? Now, one more thing we have is this PII. Anyone who knows about PII?
personal identifying information.
Okay, what is this?
Like your mobile number, your the information which can identify your you. I mean, that are the personally identifying information.
Okay, what about others? Okay, I'll tell you the full form. PII, personally identifiable information. Now, what is personally identifiable information? What are those? What are those things?
Basically, it's the combination of information which can be used to identify a particular person.
Okay. So when we say 100 KB of data was ciphered, leaked, the email and other details were also compromised. So can we say email is a PII?
Yes.
Yes. Email is a PII. Your identity card details, like we have Aadhaar card in India. In US, we have different citizenship cards, right? So what are those? Those are PII, by which you can identify a person. Now, next is doxing. What do you think of doxing, guys? Anyone who knows about doxing, what is doxing? Okay, you are hearing this first time, Mr. Shiv. Okay, no problem. What about others?
No clue.
Sorry, no clue.
No.
Okay.
We are first time
You
hearing.
have, okay, you are also hearing it first time. Mr. Hadak, you must have heard about this.
No, I am also first time.
Mr. Santosh?
About boxing, we know, but not doxing.
Okay. Boxing, you know. Okay. So, Mr. Omyu,
No idea.
no idea. Ms. Pragya?
No idea.
Okay. There was an ad of idea. No idea. Everyone was no idea. So, doxing is what? Making PII public, right? So, your personal information doing, when we are getting the information, so what we are doing of that information, we are making it public. So, that is what? That is your doxing, right? If you guys know, uh, like this, if you can, this is your doxing. If you can see here, it is written personal information. What information is this? First name, last name, address, city, state, zip code, birthday, phone number also, right? The card details, card numbers, right? All these things are there. So what is this? This is doxing. Someone has done what? Someone has made the PII public, right? Okay, so let's do one thing, guys. Let's take a break for 15 minutes, right? Then we'll be back. We'll continue our session. Is that right for you?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So we'll be back after 15. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is everyone back?
Yeah, I am.
Yes. Ashish.
What about those? Shahad, Mr. Omeo, are you back? Mr. Omeo, Mr. Arun, and Mr. Shiva. Okay, Mr. Shiva, Mr. Arun.
Back, Ashish.
Okay. Mr. Hardik and Mr. Arun, we are waiting
I'm back.
for. Okay, we are also right. What about Mr.
Yeah, I am back.
Great. Now everyone's back. So let's move ahead. So we discussed about these basic terminologies, right? Now after these terminologies, what we have is impacts of hack. So what impact, if a hack happened, what impacts will it give you? What type of impacts will be there?
Data loss, reputational loss.
Okay,
Financial loss.
correct,
Business disruption and motivational loss of employee and leaders.
correct. Okay, so main types of laws are reputational loss. What is reputational loss? Like we discussed about Ashley Madison hack. In there, the chat was made public. Now, the reputation of those CEOs and CDOs is not that much. It is not the same. Now, they have lost their reputation. So that is what that is your reputational impact. Then one more thing we have is operational impact. What is operational impact means?
Like in Sony case, when the next day people came, it was displayed that you are being hacked and all those things. So their work would be impacted a lot.
Okay. What about others? What others say?
It's like impact in the business disruption or business activity, which is in the day-to-day life of their business, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Mr. Hardik want to add something?
Yes, something. So it will impact the day-to-day operational, which contribute to uh, business, a product like some product, like
Yeah,
like
correct.
same thing.
Correct. Correct. Like Miss Pragya said, If we talk about Sony, so next day their screens were displaying you are hacked by guardians of peace. And at that time, they were not able to do their day-to-day operation. Their day-to-day operations were compromised. That means it was an operational loss. Operational impact was right. Then we have financial impact. So what is financial impact? I don't know that. Money loss. Okay. What are those?
As it sounds like it's related to monetary value. So even if it is related to reputational loss or operational loss, impact or loss, it will contribute to the financial impact in the overall,
The overall scenario, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
overall. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yes. So, like in Sony Hack, we'll talk about Sony Hack. So, movies were released before the premiere day. Directors and producers trusted whom? They trusted Sony. They suffered a huge loss. What will you do if you get a free movie online? That too on a very good print. Would you go and watch it on in theater? Will you go to cinema if you are getting it online? Will you pay money?
No.
No, right? So that is your financial impact. Now, one more type of impact we have is legal impact. So, what is legal impact?
Like if any company's data or anybody's data is being lost, they can sue the organization or they can sue the person because different bonds are being signed or legal documents are being signed before sharing the data.
Correct. So, what happened when directors and producers faced business loss because movies were released before premiere? Who was responsible for taking care of that data? Sony, right? Now, Sony has to face the legal as well as financial impact, right? So Sony was in big trouble. So these are some major impacts that come with every hack that happens, right? So that's why due to these impacts are the reason why we move to security, right? Now, if I talk about security, so we have pillars of security. Those pillars on which security is standing. Now, pillars of security. What what are the pillars of security? So there were three pillars, right? So now I want answers from you guys. Just one liners. What is CIA triad?
Confidentiality.
Confidential. Yeah. Good. Yeah, it's confidentiality, integrity, and availability.
Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These are the three pillars on which the security is standing when security was first introduced. So these were the three pillars. Still, these are there in the pillars, but now pillars are more. Now tell me, guys, what is confidential? Anyone, what is confidential? No one wants to say anything about confidentiality. Only Mr. Shiv.
Confidence in terms of uh, it's like another person cannot access the data.
Correct. So confidentiality is what? Confidentiality is keeping the information private or confidential. So only data should be readable or writable to those persons who are authorized. Otherwise, other peoples will not should not be able to read or write that data. Right? Now, if I'm here, I want confidentiality of my data, what I will implement.
Access control.
Access control.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. Shivam, my question is how you maintain confidentiality. You give access controls to those persons who are there working in your organization. Can you give access controls to those persons who are out, who are not in your organization, the attackers?
That
By creating firewall.
Creating firewall. Are there any way? Aren't there ways that you can bypass the firewall?
You can encrypt the data when it's in
Correct.
motion or it's in rest.
Correct. For more security, you are doing encryption. Even if the data, the attacker gets the data, but he will not be able to read that, right? So we maintain confidentiality with using encryption, right? Now,
Yes.
next, integrity. What is integrity?
Someone should not able to modify the data. It should be integrated. I mean, data should be as it is in original form. Someone cannot tamper with the data.
Correct. Miss Pragya, want to add anything to integrity?
No, nothing from my end. That the data should not be altered. That's it.
Correct. So integrity is what keeping the data accurate, free of errors, and free from unauthorized modification. If you will download Windows, there will be MD5 hash written. What is that? That is maintaining the integrity. So how we maintain the integrity of the data? By using hashing. What is hashing, guys?
So hashing is something to convert the data in one particular value. So uh, so when data reach to the destination, there also that the same process they can give the same result. I mean same value.
Okay. And what is the difference between hashing and encryption?
Encryption is something it's convert the data in a non-readable format, and it will be converted into decrypt by keys like in symmetric key or asymmetric key. Like hashing is something that the data where your data is converted in some value which should be unique for the data. If anything that change in the data, that value also get changed.
Okay. What do you say, Mr. Omeo, about hashing and encryption?
I'm just googling for it. I've just googled it for hashing to know the definition of it. So it says it is the process of converting a given key into another smaller value for 0 or 1 retrieval time.
Okay. And what you understood by that? So hashing is what? Hashing uses algorithm, key, and your plain text to make the data hashed. In encryption, you use encryption, some type of encryption, and the data will be encrypted. What you can do in encryption, you can decrypt the data. But in hashing, you cannot dehash or unhash the data. There is no word in the dictionary or in the world with the name dehash or unhash. So that's how your integrity is maintained, right?
A one-way function.
Yes, it's a one-way street, one-way function. So if you are doing encryption, so encryption is done using the cryptographic keys.
So how does hashing work? Like how it is used for integrity, like it will be reducing the data into some form. But how this will work in with respect to integrity?
Okay, let me take you to the website. This is the website, right? For encryption, MD5 encryption. So it will create MD5 hash. MD5 is a type of hashing algorithm, right? Okay. So let me show you the table. Okay, I'm writing Ashish over here, right? I got the hash for my name, right? Let me copy it. I pasted it over here, right? This is for Ashish. Now, even if Ashish is there and I'm writing Ashish dot, the whole hash is changed. Not a single thing, but whole hash. For Ashish, it was this. What would have happened if I added dot? It would be something like it would be adding 5 to over here for a dot. But no, what it did, the hash changed, right? So that's how it's maintaining your integrity. If hash is changed, that means your data is modified. So whenever attacker tries to get the hash and he tries to break the hash, right? So what happens? The hash changes itself, and then the integrity is still maintained, right? So that's how it is working. We'll discuss about more hashing and the cryptography part when we will learn about cryptography.
Okay.
Now we have next thing is availability. So what is availability, guys?
That the data should
Information
be
should be
yeah.
available every time, whenever you want to access.
Okay, Mr. Kya, want to add anything?
Yeah, that the information should be available to the correct person at the correct time when it is required.
Great. So availability means the data should be available at the time when we need it, right? Now, how you are maintaining the availability?
Resiliency and have the network resiliency, data resiliency. I mean, if one server, one backup copy is stored somewhere, so that if primary goes down, then it can have the access from the backup device.
Okay. What about those? What do you guys think? How you maintain the availability? Anyone wants to say something about the maintenance availability? How you maintain the availability?
By maintaining proper backups.
A high availability, having adequate clusters for a failover, making sure that information or the system is it's accessed or available to the authorized person, okay, around the clock. Okay, in the cloud they say it is availability is 99.999%.
Okay.
Making sure the system is available. Okay.
Correct. So as Ms. Pragya said, maintaining backups. So backups is there. Backups are there. What else is we have load balancers. What are load balancers? If anyone knows about that.
So that the complete load is not on one particular server. It could be balanced between the two servers so that one particular server doesn't crash, something like that.
Correct. And why we need load balancers and availability? Because there is an attack with the name DOS, denial of service. What happens in that attack? What we do, let's say we have a website, right? Now in that website, what we are doing, we are sending huge packets. Due to those huge packets, server is down. Now server is not able to reply you back. So that is denial of services. Now your server will not provide those services because there are huge packets is processing, right? So load balancers will do what? The traffic that is going to that website. If there is a particular website that is down, that is hosted on on two servers, right? So if one server is down, it will send the traffic to the other server so that the the public who is accessing that website will not get to the DOS, DOS server, right? The attack server. So that's why load balancers are there. Clear? Now what happened with time? These three were not enough to maintain the whole security. So we added couple of more pillars in the picture. So one is non-repudiation. What is non-repudiation, guys? If anyone knows about non-repudiation?
Something like accountability. I mean, if I have made some changes, then through the logs and it's evident that I made the change. I cannot deny the fact.
Okay. What do you think, Mr. Omeo? Mr. Santosh, any inputs?
No, Ashish.
Okay, Ms. Pragya?
No, I don't know about it.
Oh, non-repudiation is what? You cannot deny the fact, as Mr. Hardik said, you cannot deny the fact that you haven't done that. Let's say if you are sending your boss an email regarding that, regarding anything, right? Now the next day you cannot say that I have not done that because he has that mail. Now you cannot deny that. If someone is, let's say there is a thief, he is stealing something and he got caught. So he will say, I have not done that. So cops will do what? They will show him the CCTV footage that this is you and you have done this, right? So you cannot deny the fact that you have you have not done these things, right? Now Non-repudiation is maintained by any idea how we maintain non-repudiation?
I think identity logs.
By logs.
Logs. Okay. Digital signatures. What are digital signatures? Okay. Mr. Shivam is saying when someone is signing online signature, when person sign their name or something. Okay. What about others? What do you guys think about digital signatures?
I think it's identity of yourself in the digital form.
Okay. So
Someone else.
digital signatures. Yeah. So digital signatures are what? A technique used to validate the authenticity and the integrity of the message or the digital document, right? Now, when we do hashing, in there digital signatures are created, right? So when we do hashing, after hashing, the key is sent, we exchange the keys, and after that, the signed document is there, right? So that is what digital signatures.
Can you please explain this again?
Yeah.
I'll give you a brief idea because we have digital signatures and our cryptographic module also. So, but for now, I'll tell you that what are digital signatures. Let me find that image and let me paste it over here. So if you guys can see this image, can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is happening over here? Let me grab my phone. It is a bit blurry. Sorry for that. So we have a hash algorithm. We want to do hashing, so algorithm is here. Now after implementing that algorithm, what we have is we have hash value, right? A value we got after hashing. Now after hashing, it added the sender's private key. There are two types of keys, private keys and public keys between the two senders, right? Between the two people, the sender and the receiver, right? So private key. So what that private key is, Hash value with that private key is your signed message, right? That is called signed message, and that signed message is sent to the receiver, right? So now that signed message is called digital signature, right? Got the idea?
Yes.
Yes, Ashish.
If you still didn't got the
Yeah.
idea, don't worry, because we will be learning when we will be learning about cryptography, when you will know about private keys and public keys and what type of things are there. So again, I will be using this image, and again I will be telling you guys that what is digital signature. For now, if you want to learn, means remember about digital signature, so remember this word, this line, a small line. Digital signature is sender's private value encrypted with hash value, right? So this is for what? This is for your your digital signatures, right? Got the idea?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So the sender's private value will be there, and it will be encrypted with the hash value, that is your digital signature. Now, next thing we have is, after non-repudiation, we have authenticity. What is authenticity, guys? Authenticity or authentication. What is that? Anyone?
I think it's a verification of your identity. I mean, username, stuff like that.
Okay, verification process. Okay. Ms. Pragya, what do you think?
I think so that it means that they are real or not, like they exist or not. Like whenever we do whenever we enter password and for logging onto any website, they check that we are not robots or not. We are real humans who are entering, kind of that.
Okay. So authenticity is like identification of a person. Authentication, identification of a person. How you will identify him, right? Like we have authentication factors. What factors are there? If you guys know, do you guys know about any factors that are there? Authentication factors. Those factors are, yeah. Want to add? Want to say something, Mr.
Yeah, like password and OTP.
What are they? They
uh,
are factors, right?
Factors, yeah.
So, what those factors are? Something you have, something you know, something you know. What is that? That is password. Something you have. What is that? Your ATM card, your RFID card for entering the organization, for entering your offices, right? Something, somewhere you are, somewhere you are not. So now it will allow you as, like, if you will, if you do log into your device every day from India, but now you are logging it and from US or Singapore. So what it will give you? It will alarm the user that login attempt from Singapore, right? Somewhere you are, somewhere you are not. It also works on your behavior. Something you do, right? And something you do not. What type of things you do? We have key key logging softwares and devices. So what it do? It logs your key. How many times, how till how much time you are pressing a single key, what is your pattern of typing. So it records that, and if the, there is someone else who is doing that, who is typing, so it will alarm the user that someone else is typing by seeing the pattern, right? So that is your authenticity. Authenticity is maintained by anyone. How we maintain authenticity? Okay, let me show you something and then you guys will tell me what is that. What is this, guys? If you know. Anyone who knows about this, what is this? Uh, Providing authenticity by providing OTP, private key given to you. What is that? That's what I am asking. What is that?
Authentication system.
Sorry.
It's an authentication system.
Yeah, I'm asking that. What is this? This thing. It is digital certificate,
Right, right.
right? Issuer name, Google Trust Services LLC. So Google has given it the service, the certificate, right? So how you get the certificate? So authenticity is maintained by digital certificates, right? There are different types of authentication: two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentications, right? So how you are maintaining it? What type of things are those? Those are digital certificates, right? So anyone who knows about digital certificates, so how you get the digital certificate? Let me give you a brief idea. There is a user, there is a registration authority, there is certification authority, and there is validation authority. Three authorities are there. So what user will do? User will approach first to registration authority that I want to get digital certificate, right? Now user will do what? It will provide whole information to the registration authority. Now registration authority will do what? It will verify that user is the authentication person or not, whether he is spoofing or not, whether he is being someone impersonating or not, right? If these things are not there, if he is the legit legal user, right? So it will go to certification authority. Now certification authority will do what? RA, your registration authority will ask the certification authority that this person is certified. Please share the digital certificate with them. So certification authority will allocate the certificate to the user, but that certificate will be encrypted with private key. Right? Now, certificate is given in encrypted form, but they should have the data in the database. Right? So it will do what? It will, your certification authority will contact validation authority. Do what? He has that I have given him the certificate. Please list that up in your team. Right? So that is the thing how digital certificates work, right? And how any website gets the digital certificate. Clear? Any questions on that?
No questions, Ashish.
No.
Okay. Clear till here, everyone.
Yes,
What
it's
we
clear.
have discussed. Clear? Okay, great. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is security triangle. Do you guys know what is security triangle? Security triangle. There are three things in security triangle. Three things that we maintain, we try to maintain, right? So let me write it for you guys. We have security. We want security, right? Now, what else we want? We want functionality, and we have something with the name usability. Three things, right? Clear everyone? Security, functionality, usability. How usable it is, how functional it is, and how much security it has, how much secure it is, right? Okay. Uh, let's use this. Now, let's understand by this. We have a thing, application we use with the name Notepad, and we have one MS Word, right? Two things are there. Now, tell me, if I talk about Notepad, is it easy to use?
Yes.
Usability, right? Easy to use, yes. Does it have a lot of functionality as compared to MS Word?
No.
No.
No. Is it secure?
As
Is
compared
not
to
No.
as compared to MS Word? Is it not? It is not secure, right?
Right.
No.
No.
So it is more over towards usability, that application. So somewhere here it would be. So this is your Notepad, right? Now what we have MS Word. Is it easy to use the notepad?
No.
What others say?
Compared with no.
What about others? Is MS Word easier to use than notepad?
No.
No. More functional?
Yes.
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 More secure?
Yes.
Yes. So where your MS Word will be, it is more over here, right? Okay, let's talk about mobiles. So we have Android phones, but before comparing Android phones with burner phones. So do you guys know what are burner phones? Okay, one-time use phones. Back in the old days when mobile phones were no, not like that, Mr. Shiva. Burner phones are what back in the old days we didn't have these Android and iOS phones. We used to have those small black and white phones. Remember the black and white ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those phones are called what? Those phones are called burner phones, right? So if we compare burner phones with Android, so what do you think? Is Android easy than burner phone?
Yes.
The thing is, burner phones only call in and call cut, and Android lots of things. So is it easier? No, it's not easier than Android phone, right?
Okay. So overall usability. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, overall usability if we talk about, so Android is not easy than burner phones, right? Now, is it more secure than burner phones?
Burner is more secure than Android.
Yeah.
Correct. So Android is not that much secure, burner is more secure. That's why in movies, attackers go by burner phones. If you have watched that series with the name uh, Money Heist, so in there they use burner phones so that the cops, the CBI team was not able to track them. So that's why it's there. Burner phones are not uh, Androids are not secure. Burner phones are more secure, right? Now functionality, no. So yes, so Android is more functional than burner phones, right? So it is more over towards functionality side, right? So this is Android, correct? Now this is an ideal scenario that every developer, security person, every network architect is trying to achieve, right? Ideal scenario which is secure, usable, which can also sustain functionality at the same time. That's why it's important, right? Now after these things, what we have is uh, I'm writing something. So quickly tell me what it is. What is black box testing? Anyone?
Read about black box hacking, but not testing.
Okay. Ms. Pragya, know anything about this? The testings?
No, I'm not aware of this.
A black box used in airplanes.
No, not those black boxes. These are the types
It's
of testings.
something. It's something that you don't have any information and you have to do the testing. Like I'm hacking.
Correct. Correct. So what testing is? We do testing, right? In the organization, we find the vulnerabilities so that before attacker we can do what? Whole organization can exploit that vulnerability or find that vulnerability so that they can mitigate it. Otherwise, the attacker will find that. Right now, for that we do different types of testing. Those testings are what black box testing, gray box testing, and white box testing. Now, in these three types of testing, what we do? In these types of testings, for your black box testing is what? Black box testing. In black box testing, you do what? You go for the target. Let's say your target is a web server right now. Now you have to do a black box testing on the server, right? Now what you will do? You will you don't know about anything about the target, right? In black box testing, you are impersonating a black hat attacker, malicious attacker. So you don't know anything about the target, right? Now you have to find the information about that. You have to find the IP addresses. You have to find everything about that yourself. No one will know. So when you have no idea regarding your target, so what example can be like? Let's say we have our organization InfoSec train. So hack InfoSec train and test InfoSec train. So we are testing InfoSec train without knowing any about any servers or anything, right? So that is your black box testing. Moving on to gray box testing. In gray box testing, we have some information about the target, right? So in here you have zero info about the target. In gray box testing, you have partial information. So when you have some information about the target, let's say we are hacking, we are testing InfoSec train. So we know that the servers are Apache server and written in the website is written in PHP and we are given the username and password. So that is your gray box testing. We have some information, right? Now next we have is white box testing. In white box testing, we have full information about the target. So when we have full knowledge of the target, that is called white box testing. Like someone shared the source code. Now then you are doing testing. So that is what that is your white box testing. Clear? Clear everyone?
Yes.
Any questions? Any questions?
No.
Okay.
So I want to ask, like, all these three type of testing are being done whenever we are testing, like, yeah.
No, not all these three at a time. How can you do that? Think that you are doing testing. You are doing white box testing, right? Now, after white box testing, can you do gray box testing?
No, because when we already have information, then we can't do gray box.
Can you do black box testing after white box testing? No,
No.
because you have no information. So one at a time. So it depends on your client. If you are a pen tester, it depends on your client what type of testing he wants, and according to his needs, we do pen testing, right?
Okay.
Okay, so these are the types of testing. Now we have hackers. Types of hackers. So tell me about black hat hackers. No one? Mr. Ardat? Black hat hackers.
Right, Sachin, like they don't have any information to hack the system or target.
Yes, what would they do? Mr. Pragya, any idea?
No, no idea.
Black hat hackers are those persons who have malicious
No.
intent,
Yeah, okay.
right? Those peoples who are there for their own good, who are attacking the organization, who are attacking anything for their own good. Either they want to have money for money purposes, right? Or they want revenge from someone. So that those are called black hat hackers. Now, if I talk about gray hat hackers, so what are gray hat hackers? Any idea? Anyone?
I mean, they are used for some, you know, like political gain or some business benefits.
Okay. So, gray hat hackers. Let's see. Grey hat hackers are those hackers who are white hat hackers, right? Who are the ethical hackers at some time. But the moment they see an opportunity, they shift towards it or take advantage of it, right? If I'm a gray hat hacker, then if am doing the ethical work every time. But when I see your credit card details or anything, I'll use that because I'm a gray hat, right?
Okay.
So fortunate, right? Whenever the opportunity is there, they grab that. Whether it is black, it is malicious or non-malicious. Now, after knowing these two, you will be knowing about white hat hackers also. What are white hat hackers?
Professional hackers.
Correct. Those are the ethical persons, ethical hackers who work for organizations. They find the vulnerabilities in the organization and they report those vulnerabilities that these vulnerabilities are there in your machine, in your web server, in your network, in your device, in your router, and in your anything. Right? So those are your ethical hackers. Now another type of people we have script kiddies. What are those?
One who don't have complete knowledge about hacking and scripting and
Correct. So those people who don't have knowledge of uh, hacking and all, but what they do it by watching videos or they do it by watching some tutorial. So they do by that, copying someone else's code and all those things. So that they are what they are your script kiddies. They don't have knowledge, but they have curious minds, right? So those are those types of hackers. Then we have suicidal hackers. What are suicidal hackers? Anyone? Anyone? Suicidal hackers. Suicidal hackers. Suicidal hackers are those hackers who know what the outcome will be, who know they will be caught and they will be in behind the bars, but they still make that call. They know the outcome, they still make that call. Now, next are state sponsored. What are state sponsored hackers? Any idea, anyone? Yes, correct, Mr. Shiva. State sponsored hackers are your government hackers. So those are government peoples, what other states are doing, what other countries are doing, those they take care of that. They keep an eye on those things. Right? Now next are cyber terrorists. What are cyber terrorists? Yes, where there is loss of human life. Those are cyber terrorists. If you remember the British Airways hack, if you guys know about that, if anyone knows about that, British Airways was hacked. No one? Okay.
No,
So what happened? The cyber terrorists did what? They attacked the British Airways, and now planes were flying, planes were on on the go, they were working. Now what happened? What they hacked, the planes didn't got the way. The radar stopped working. They were not getting the direction. Right? Now they were not getting the direction. Will they be able to reach anywhere? No. The plane the your fuel will be would be emptied after some time and the plane will be crashed. But somehow they got the signal. So one of my colleague was there in that flight. So he also helped them in getting the up signal. So that is your work of cyber terrorists, right? If you guys know about Stuxnet, if anyone knows about Stuxnet, Stuxnet,
I heard but not recollecting.
What is the pronunciation?
Stuck.
Stuxnet, STUX. This is the word, Stuxnet. So what happened in Stuxnet? If you will read about that, it's good. So a malware was implanted. And what in Iran there is a nuclear power plant, so malware was implanted and almost compromised. So you can guess how much life loss would be there. But somehow they got they defended it and it didn't complete it. It wasn't successful. But if it would be successful, there would be a human life loss, right? Then next type of hackers we have activists. So do you know about hacktivists? What are activists?
Like WikiLeaks.
Like,
Those are involved, you know, I mean, do the hacking area for the some activities like, uh, you know, I don't know, how can I explain that?
those are activists who hack.
Uh,
Like, no, Mr. Shivam, they are not. They are hacking for fun. They're not hacking for fun. So we have a hacking group with the name Anonymous. If you guys know about that. Recently, if you remember, some last month, your Anonymous group released a video the regarding Elon Musk, that you think you are the king of the world, and nowadays, because what happened when Elon Musk said that Tesla will be getting Tesla will be taking cryptocurrency, so the price of Bitcoin increased. But when He stopped that when he said that we will not be taking cryptocurrency from now, and he sold all the cryptocurrency of his own. Right? So what happened then? What happened then? People who were there for profit, they suffered a huge loss. So that's why Anonymous, their agenda was to tell him that you are not the king of the world, and whatever you say, you are not ruling the world, you are not running the world. So what are hacktivists? Hacktivists are those people who hack for an agenda, right? So those are your hacktivists, right? Okay. Now the last thing we have is teams. So we have blue team, we have red team, and we have purple team. Now what is blue team? Anyone? Miss Pragya,
No, I don't know.
Kush, Mr. Hardik.
No, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
What certification you guys are doing? Security plus. Is it a offensive course or defensive course?
Defensive.
It is
Defensive.
a defensive course,
Defensive.
right?
So we are part of
So
blue team.
yes, you guys are part of blue team. So you guys are defenders, right? So blue team, those peoples who are in blue team, those peoples are what? Those peoples are defensive peoples. They defend the attacks. They try to find out that what your red team will do what, and their outcome, how will we defend that, right? So what your red team is? Red team is the offensive person, right? So offensive peoples are there who do attacks, who perform attacks, right? And who defend those attacks? The blue team. Now what is purple team then?
Those who will do the both.
Correct. Combo of both red and blue, right? So purple team is what? Purple team peoples are the combination of both who know defensive side, who know offensive side also. So now they are more dangerous, you can say, if they come to uh, red teaming, and if they come to blue teaming also. So they know how attacks are done, they know how defend, how people will defend, so they can attack more with more power and with the more techniques they can create, right? So this is your purple team. Now, if anyone knows about the white team,
Who monitors?
okay. What about others, guys? White team. White team works as a referee between red and blue team, right? There is always competition between blue team and red team. Always. Because what red team, the work of red team is to do attack, and the work of blue team is to defend. Now, who is the referee in between? Who's taking care that both of them are following some rules? So that is your white team. Clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay, guys. So that's all for today. So we'll wrap up today's session and we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. I hope you like the session.
Yes.
Yeah, we liked it.
Yes,
Thank you so
Ashish.
much.
So if you want any changes, so let me know, or it's going good.
So you're sharing that book, right?
I'll share that book. I'll share this paint slide also. This is for you guys. And other things I will be sharing also. So don't worry about that. I will be giving you things about the red teaming also, your answer sites also, so that you guys can learn about that. So don't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So then let's wrap it up for today, and we'll meet tomorrow.